Good evening. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday so far. I'm on the third day in the book of the Acts of the Holy Spirit. It starts out talking about waiting. It says waiting is never easy. As children, we've all experienced the delightful but frustrating period of waiting to open presents, but could do nothing to make them come any faster. But waiting is not something we outgrow as we approach adulthood. We wait for a mate. We wait for children to come and then for them to grow up and move on out on their own. We wait for grandchildren in retirement. When you think about it, a lot of life is spent waiting. But waiting is not something we do until life happens, it's part of life. I believe God has purpose in the waiting. There's something in waiting that draws our eyes to Him where they should be. This was true for the disciples, and it is true for us. That's so true. Waiting is extremely hard to do, but when we learn to wait, we'll be blessed beyond measure. I know I waited for a long time for certain things, and I'm still waiting for certain things. But I know while waiting, I'll make sure I continue pressing in and relying on God through the waiting. Are you doing that? Are you continually leaning on God and being joyful while you wait? I struggled extremely hard when I started changing my life around, and I continued to struggle while waiting for several things to happen when I opened this door. So I'd run to James 1:2-4, which says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." So while we're waiting on God, we need to learn to be joyful in the process because He's growing our faith so we'll be mature and complete, not lacking anything. The book tells us the disciples waited for the Father's promise for 10 days, but while they waited, they joined together in prayer. Luke 24:53 tells us, "And they stayed continually at the temple praising God." The book goes on to say, obviously, as we see the disciples waiting upon the Lord, none of us know for certain the content of these early prayers. Are they praying for the Spirit to come? Perhaps, but we cannot say for certain. Jesus has already promised that the Spirit will come and baptize them. We know from Luke 24:53 that some of the praying is simply devoted to praising God. Prayer is not asking God for stuff all the time. I suspect that much of what they pray comes from the hearts that want to communicate with and be connected with Jesus. For 3 years they talked with Him. Now that they are physically separated because He has ascended to heaven, prayer is the only means of communicating with Him. So we're not sure what they were praying about, but the important thing is they stayed in the temple praising God. So let's make sure we continue praising God when we're waiting for Him. Straight from God through Dawn Marie. Love you all and have a blessed rest of your evening.